I'm human. Sometimes I screw stuff up. Hopefully, this started recording. Case in point, I'm human and I screw stuff up. But I really feel bad for internet babies. I mean, I do. Like, my heart goes out to them. They're dumb. They're not very thorough. As this reads, you're referring to, and bear in mind, I can't pronounce some of this shit. You're referring to, and we're talking about books. We're talking about an epic story, and she couldn't bother to capitalize what she crapped out. Granted, I often narrate to Google, and it doesn't translate well because Google's a divisive tool of propaganda. So you never know. Maybe that's what she's doing because oftentimes Google does not capitalize things. You have to do it yourself, and most people won't take the initiative. Back to point. You're referring to Polygon's the Telegony or Telegony. I just said the same thing twice. Sorry, you guys. Like I said, in Odyssey, he just returns. We're talking about Odysseus returning home, in other words. He just returns home, and that's it. No death for him. Though he did cheat, of course. She's talking about when he hangs out with Cersei for a long period of time. Cersei being one of the prominent examples, but as long as he returned to Penelope, it didn't matter much in ancient Greece, at least in the myths. And then we got a pointless yellow face in here for some reason. However, there's another arguably more interesting death of Odysseus in the long, and this is what I can't pronounce, Aeschylus, Psychogoli. He dies after a heron drops excrement onto his balding head. It contains a spine of a sea monster, so the prophecy about quote unquote death by sea is fulfilled that way. One of the more original deaths in literature. Now, that last bit, she's not wrong about it, and there are numerous tales. There are many variations, is my point. But what she got wrong up at the top is what I left on here is one of those many variations. She's correcting me about a variation, is the point, because she wasn't thorough. So this is what I wrote. This is a reply. Appreciate the replies, save for the pointless emoji. By the way, those were written into free social platforms to dumb folks down. I'm trying to be really nice. In other words, or I said in other news, and it shouldn't be capitalized in post. I fucked that up. In post-Homeric Greek mythology, specifically the lost epic poem of Telegony, Odysseus is accidentally killed by Telegonus, the son he fathered with the sorceress Circe. Because what I originally left on here tracks if people compared and contrasted things. I know I'm kicking a dead horse, but I feel bad for these fucking internet babies. What I originally left on here. A lot of people don't know that Odysseus cheated on his wife, and in later stories, he was murdered by his bastard son.